Now we're moving on to begin to see the parts of speech within sentences. Please be sure before you do this homework, this first set of sentences, that you read carefully through the several pages on the parts of speech. There's a lot of detail in those pages, and we will be seeing a lot of that detail in evidence in these sentences. I also want to say before we begin that some of what you see in these exercises might seem a bit easy, perhaps too easy, and some of it will be surprisingly more complicated. So please beware, and also please do not be discouraged if you find that you're getting many things incorrect in this first set of sentences especially. So let's begin. I've opened up, if you open up your book to page 51, you'll see the sentence that I've printed on this slide. This set of exercises, this first set, exercise 1A, that begins on page 49, asks you to identify the nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs in these sentences. Adverbs and verbs on page 49 are italicized because I really just want you to give those a shot. There's a lot more that we have to say about verbs that we will be getting to in the next day or so. So please focus then on identifying the nouns, pronouns, and adjectives in these sentences. And please provide as much detail as you can. I'm going to walk through this sentence and explain some of what's happening in it, and then show you some answers. I want to recommend that you write in the book. You'll have a chance to redo these exercises as well. And I will explain exactly how I think it might be best to do these exercises. I will be sending you an answer key for this first set of exercises this week, so you'll see what I think a good way is to go about doing these. There's no necessarily right or wrong way to complete them, but there are certainly right and wrong answers. So let's begin. If the single man plant himself indomitably on his instincts, the huge world will come round to him. This is a passage from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and several of these sentences in this first set of exercises are rather famous quotations or slightly amended quotations. We'll see, as I said earlier, lots of different examples of different kinds of English and kinds of sentences and so on. These are especially formal, many of them, and they're quite tricky actually when it comes to the parts of speech. So it's a good place to start. Slang is also quite tricky with that, with parts of speech. So we'll get to some of that as well. All right, so identifying only what we're required to identify for this exercise, the nouns, pronouns, and adjectives. Let's begin. And I'm going to now move on to the next video and show you the answers and explain them. So you'll see all of the answers suddenly, and I'm going to walk through them. I recommend that you keep your book open and take notes as I talk. And of course, you can replay these videos as often as you like. Okay, on to the next video.